Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. After a great weekend of Call of Duty matches, all things considered, once again the integrity of online COD though being called into question last night by the Boston Breach. They went 1-1 on the weekend, but a referee interrupting it, shall we say, their first series of the weekend against the Subliners. Loads of reaction to this and many pro players. What should the response be? Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, as always, I greatly appreciate. Quality tweet, I'm not gonna lie here, for the Subliners, of course, after closing out this last night's surprise result. It's got to be said against FaZe. The Bulldog, of course, came to play really. It's been interesting, right? Because last year there was no doubt that HyDra Kiz were the best subduer in the game. We haven't seen that be the case so far in this game, which is probably understandable. You've got Simp, aBeZy, you've got Envoy, CleanX, you've got, obviously Shotzzy and Pred. So it maybe isn't a surprise that HyDra and Kiz won't be the best SMG duo forever. But over the last couple of weeks, they've been looking more like it. HyDra's had some good series. Kismet seems to have got some form back as well. We know this guy's hella icy as well. And yeah, I think that 6-0 search on the high-rise search and destroy was one of the more impressive things, really, that we've seen a team do so far this season, because doing that to FaZe, a team that's good on high-rise search and destroy, as we've seen, is no mean feat. And of course, they went on to close out the series in 5 after winning 2 search and destroy. So definitely makes things really nice going into the major. No doubt, of course, we're still a while away now. There's like 3 weekends of qualifiers still to go. And Subliners, I'm pretty sure, play 1 series every weekend from now on out. So bit weird, really, that FaZe have played 2 weekends in a row with just 1 match played. Subliners have already played their 2 weekends where they played 2 matches. So, maybe it's helpful for New York that they can actually keep some of that momentum, because 1 match on a weekend, I don't think the pros ever really like doing that. So Kiz pulled up the Infinity KD. To be honest, I wasn't really aware that the website did this when someone had no nest. It just said Infinity. To be fair, though, Kismet wasn't the first man to do it, because Geo against on Vegas, right? We'll talk about Vegas later on today. He had a 4-0 performance, I'm pretty sure. So he actually put up an infinity number before people noticed it here for Kismet. So as Drazah says, got to fix up the searches though for our match next week against Toronto. And this is where things get nice, right? That FaZe, they've just played New York, they've gone down, and then they play Toronto. Now Toronto have played some of the weaker teams over the last couple of weeks, but they've got the job done. When they play FaZe, they'll, I'm sure, bring their A game, or at least try their best to bring their A game. We know that the players aren't so satisfied with the state of the game at the moment. Pretty sure FaZe also play Rocker next weekend as well, so I don't know if Drazah either doesn't know that, or whether he's just kind of saying like, alright, that should be an easy dub type thing based on the current evidence, because, maybe that FaZe think, regardless of how they do in search and destroy, they should be fine to beat Rocker, because, let's be honest here, Rocker are unlikely to beat FaZe before map 5, and right now they can't seem to win in map 5 to save their life. So I'm sure that's some positive signs, but yeah, that Toronto FaZe series is going to be great, given what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. These are the standings, by the way, as well. So Toronto clearly out ahead as the number 1 seed, 190 points. Then FaZe, then OpTic, of course. Now the Subliners are back up to 4th place here. So, despite the questions around this team of Major 1, I think we are now seeing the evidence that, okay, the top 4 teams are what we expected before the season began. Rocker, though, they've looked okay, obviously. Gone Game 5 against some good teams, but still 5-9 series count and only 75 points. The good thing is for Rocker that the teams below them are just pretty tragic, and we'll see evidence of that for sure later on today. I do want to quickly mention, though, on Surge, because, 60 points, 5 and 8. If you look at the standings, doesn't look too bad, but that does not tell the picture of Surge right now. I also wonder what's going on with Rambo, just because Rambo hasn't tweeted anything for a long time now, which maybe shouldn't be a massive surprise. But, I thought he might have said something on the way that their game is going, because, he talked about it, let's say, at the Major. He was talking about the victories that these guys had and about game battles and stuff. But yeah, Rambo's been kind of radio silent, just because people were expecting something from Surge on the fact that they're struggling, they need to make changes, or they're looking to try and improve in some way. I don't know what's going on there behind the scenes, but surely it's kind of chalked, right? Because the way they lost yesterday to Ravens was not the ideal way to lose. Now, Boston, over the last couple of days, played some interesting games. They got the win, of course, last night against the Minnesota Rocket in 5. They did get slammed, though, by the Subliners a couple of days prior. So, still an inconsistent team, still lots to work on. They've got the potential, nobody is denying that. But it seems there was a little more to that New York Subliners series than initially met the eye. Because Asim last night, after they won won the series, comes out with the following. Imagine being up 100 points versus New York and the ref, unmuted, starts doing the dishes in the background. It went on much longer than this. Unlucky, I guess he says. So just to quickly clarify before I share a couple of clips on this really, is you guys can see it says Thieves and OpTic, and obviously that's not Thieves, that's not OpTic, right? This is, I think easyMac actually mentioned it as well. This wasn't the actual stream, obviously, because we didn't hear the ref doing the dishes on the stream, but the teams are provided with all the comms and the videos from the games for their own like use, I suppose, for VOD review and everything you want to say. So this is like a back-end video, which I guess they don't care too much about the the names on top of the players. Obviously, the names aren't right either. So okay, probably that's not a big deal. So just to clarify that. But the whole referee thing is pretty wild, and I'm not exactly sure whether this ref was just like one ref for the lobby. I'm guessing because obviously the pros that team is in the comms with themselves. I'm guessing there's like a ref per TeamSpeak, I guess. You've got like the Boston ref and then you've got the New York ref, I suppose, is how it would have gone. So this ref who was reffing the series was clearly not paying 100% attention, and I feel like we've had stories like this over the last couple of years as well, but you can imagine how much this would check you out as a player.
Stop topping you guys. Go stop.
Go,
Still in the same
quick.
spot.
Yeah, he got me. Let's do
Guys,
that.
I'm going back out. HyDra pitching.
Someone's mic.
Going back out.
Referee, mute your fucking mic, please.
Going back out, guys. Top fire weak.
Top fire, let's do. One's absolute.
Could you believe there was a sync in my ear, dude?
That's insane.
Could you believe that?
Oh, I found it. I found it. Yeah. The fact that there was a sync in your ear, bro, is. I thought that was from today's. I thought that was from today.
Can I ask the referee in your call what his name was?
We actually don't know.
I don't know his name. Yeah,
But bro, there was more than that. There's pots and pans going off, and all that, bro.
That's insane.
Yo, I was seeing red because we were up 100 points, and I don't think we got a point after that. Obviously, it had nothing to do like we were getting shit on from that point on. But like, bro,
You're
come on.
losing
Chalk
composure
you,
if
yeah.
you hear that shit, bro. You're losing.
Like, bro, it is so hard to stay locked when someone is doing dishes in my ear during a serious match.
Bro, and it was loud too. It wasn't like it was background noise. It was loud.
And there
So
was
loud.
more too. We cut out a lot, bro. I'm telling you, bro. There's pots and pans, plates, fucking bada bings, everything.
Bro,
No
Deadass
way.
sounded like he put up the blue Yeti next to the sink and just started giving you like an
Deadass,
ASMR show, bro.
Hold on,
Bro,
I
and I
got
thought-
the clip right here. Let's tune in real quick. Hold on, let's watch the clip. It's 14 seconds.
Stop topping you guys. Go stop. Still in the same
quick.
spot.
Yeah, he got me. Let's do
Guys,
that.
I'm going back out. HyDra pitching.
Someone's mic.
Going back out.
Referee, mute your fucking mic, please.
Going back out, guys. Top fire weak.
Top fire,
HyDra.
let's do. One's absolute.
Nah, you should quit more.
Once you hear the
You should
water
quit
turn on,
more.
it's over. You're losing
Bro, the
composure.
worst part about it is when I told him to mute his mic, I assumed he was gonna mute his mic, bro. And then the pot started going. I was like, oh, this fucker just doesn't hear me. He just blew his dishes.
So understandably, lots of reaction from this, of course, on the flank as well, with Asim and Sasha giving their thoughts. As okay, fair enough, they were kind of getting sound, but this most certainly didn't help. So, I mean, I don't really know even what to say at this point. The online COD in general has been problematic. And I think Priestahh actually said that during the game, he just opened TeamSpeak and muted the guy from, from their actual chat. Gotta be turned next time. So maybe this didn't make a massive amount of difference, but I think it definitely played a part, right? Especially as Asim says, it went on much longer than just this. It wasn't just this short clip, and maybe they didn't want to reveal everything from the comms and all this, but it wasn't just this short clip they're talking about. It went on significantly longer than just this. So obviously not ideal by any means. This isn't the type of thing that happens on LAN. This is like an online COD phenomenon that I guess just the way things go, at some point somebody's going to forget to mute their mic and all this. So I guess he was listening in to the match just to see what happens. And the referees occasionally have to make a decision, but it's quite rare, really. The funny thing is that like, what do the refs actually do most of the time? Maybe I'm just misunderstanding this, but at least back in the day, the feeling was, well, let's say a replay is necessary, the game crashes, the referee would be able to make some sort of a decision as to, okay, this team was up like 210 to 115 and the game crashed, so, what's the rules? Are we going to give that team a certain advantage? Obviously, the ref's there to watch the game itself to see exactly what's going on. But in this case, the ref maybe wasn't watching the game. I don't know. He was doing the dishes. Maybe he had the matchup on his phone or something while he's listening into the comms. So if something was to go wrong with the game state, then is the ref in a position to actually deal with the consequences of that? Now, maybe the refs, as I say, just follow a rulebook now. And if the game crashes and they need to replay, then they just replay from zero regardless of the score. Apparently, that's how it's gone in recent times. But it doesn't give you you that much confidence, really, in the quality of the refereeing if something were to go wrong and be necessary to adjust to when this is going on in the background. So the Simp says this is insane, and many of the pro players agreed, right? Because it's not just the fact that their comms are being interrupted by the referee, which is absurd in and of itself. It's pretty loud as well. But also, I think just what this means for the quality of the referee, you could argue, in the CDL right now, and obviously Dashy was in the replies to this one as well. So pretty absurd set of circumstances, and maybe there'll be, I don't know, a change of protocol or something behind the scenes there at the CDL to make this work. But it does make you wonder, like, there's been lots of changes recently to the league, people getting let go, right, making adjustments, I suppose, to the operations they're running behind the scenes, and it really doesn't feel like, as time has trended onwards in the Call of Duty League, that any of this stuff is getting better. Like, if anything, it's getting worse. I guess, like, when we first went online when the pandemic happens, like that, back then it was a shambles, really. So many game crashes. Octane was getting so many fines for talking about the league and stuff as he was. But even today, like 4 years later, it's still far from great. This is how unserious online COD is, says Slasher. LAN only going forward. I think it really must take a toll on guys like Slasher that have been around for years, played so many tournaments, and, you know, here he is dealing with this type of stuff online, whereas what he wants to do is just play LAN every single week. Even Joey Nubsy, obviously, like, formally involved in the Seattle Surge and elsewhere. Team names are wrong, which, okay, we discussed that. Ref is doing dishes. Please just discontinue this entire product. So it's not been great. And even Kennedy says, map reset, that CDL Ref 7 joining the lobby that happened a while ago, actually. Like, you know, are they lazy? Are they just broke? Are they find the people that know what's going on? Like, it's kind of difficult to analyze, really. But obviously, Asim had a pretty funny reply as well. Absolute madness, to be fair. But just to close out the video, I wanted to mention this from Dr. Doug, who pointed out the kind of wins growth chart. I thought this was pretty cool, actually. So looking at the expected number of wins per team based on their, like, ELO rankings compared to who they play and how they're actually doing at the moment. So this is how it looks so far. As I mentioned, though, there's two teams, Subliners and Heretics. They've already played 4 series, whereas FaZe have only played 2, Thieves have only played 2, Gorillas and Surge have also only played 2, which is just the way that, unfortunately, playing 7 qualifiers over 5 weekends is going to turn out. So FaZe, by losing to Subliners, are slightly underneath expectations of where they should be. They're expected to get 5 wins. Boston are expected to get 3 and a bit. Ravens are expected to get, 2 and a bit. So, it's difficult to say whether that would have been enough, theoretically, to qualify for the winners bracket. But, of course, Ravens now are pretty much on track based on their first couple of games. Good news, though, I suppose, if you're a Vegas Legion fan, because they're actually expected, given the competition they face in this stage, to, based on, relative rankings between the teams, get 3 wins out of 7, which, 3 wins, 4 losses should be enough to get to the winners bracket. And of course, Vegas are already 2-1, and they played it pretty close against Toronto as well. It's really Minnesota Rocker that are now finding themselves in a bit of a tricky spot, losing 3 in a row. They're staring down the barrel of a potential losers bracket start of the major, as of course are the Miami Heretics, who are, way behind track, and it's tough to imagine them turning it around. To be fair to Surge, they've played 2 reasonably good teams, and they play easier games from here on out, but I can't imagine they're going to be turning this around anytime soon on the evidence that we saw yesterday. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.